Dr. Vineet Jason, will you come here? And Dr. Nitin, आप भी आइए please. And Dr. Pandey, आप आइए. Dr. Gupta, आप भी आइए. First of all, let me introduce Dr. Vineet Jason, who's come from Ludhiana. He's from Ludhiana CMC, that is Christian Medical College and Hospital. It is famous, everybody knows that hospital. As a neurologist, he uses teleconsult to provide service to patients with a long distance to travel, as well as those nearby, but too disabled to be shifted. And he's very popular about that, and some neuro patients find it hard to travel. Telemedicine has become an integral part of it. So Dr. Jason, you are welcome to our forum. Thank you for coming all the way. Dr. Nitin Sethi. He is a young one around. He is famous Dr. Sethi of Gangaram, P.K. Sethi. He is son of Dr. P.K. Sethi, who is a famous neurologist. And the moment he came into India, Dr. P.K. Sethi introduced him to me. And since then, we never leave him alone. He is in our webinars, he comes for our programs, and all our MS persons get along very well with him. Because they find, I think they find one-to-one conversation with him is very good. He actually attracts people. So Dr. Nitin Sethi is the chairman, PSRI Institute of Neurosciences, Pushpavati Singhania Research Institute, Multi-Speciality Hospital, New Delhi. And we have Dr. Dharam Pandey. He is a highly esteemed head of the department and consultant in physiotherapy and rehab sciences at Manipal Hospitals. Here, a hand for him. He is new to the forum, and but he's very good. Today he'll be taking some questions. He'll talk about it, about physiotherapy. And now we have physiotherapist Dr. Hitesh Gupta. He's with BLK Max, looking after swallowing and speaking issues and occupational therapy, and he has got 18 years experience in this field. He is also a first-timer, but yes. Now, neurologists, occupational therapists, and physical therapists, that's PT, OT, and neurologists, they play crucial role in managing multiple sclerosis. I think all of you know that. When all three get together, there's no looking back. Then you'll keep well, you'll manage MS well, and you'll lead a quality life. As you know, neurologists diagnose and manage the disease, often prescribing medication to slow its progression or manage symptoms after a certain stage. OTs help patients to adapt daily living activities, while PTs focus on improving physical function, mobility, and strength. All three must work together as collaboratively to improve overall being and independence. Physiotherapy focuses on movement and physical function, occupational therapy on daily living activities, and speech therapy on communication and swallowing. Each discipline addresses different aspects of rehabilitation and recovery. Dr. Jason, you must have diagnosed several MS persons, and your hospital is well known from Punjab, surrounding areas. You must be constantly getting MS persons. When do you suggest physiotherapy, and if need be, occupational therapy?
So physiotherapy needs to be started as soon as possible. Patients come to us, often they would have had symptoms. It can be anything, but as early as possible, they need to be in touch with a physiotherapist who understands. That's also important. Why they need to be on good physiotherapy, even if it's very mild illness, right at the start, good exercise, control of comorbidities, all of that has a lot of value down the line. So as early as possible.
Do you think it's right from the beginning or when they feel balance problem or certain discomfort?
As soon as possible. I think right from the beginning is important because we understand MS is not a disease that goes away. It is there in the beginning. So the disability, the chronicity of the illness is there right at the starting. And physiotherapy has a role. It doesn't have to be done in an institution or anything. It can be done at home. It can be in the form of exercise, but it has to be done there, not just when the balance comes in or when spasticity has set in. It should be done way
Beforehand.
Yes.
See, when the spasticity sets in too much, then it is difficult to reverse the situation. It takes long time. That is why doctor is saying you should start from the beginning, after diagnosis. And Dr. Sethi, your opinion about when is speech therapy required?
My principle about these diseases is that MS is it's sort of a neurodegenerative disease. मतलब एक बार जब disease शुरू हो जाती है, slowly but surely it will progress. As of now, like I'm partly here, partly in New York, in Cornell. Even in New York City, आप कोई भी big MS center में चले जाइए, there's no cure for MS. So neurodegeneration starts and you are losing brain cells in a very simple way, brain cells are dying. So इसमें principle which I believe a lot is cognitive reserve and आपका जो motor reserve होता है. So suppose एक patient है जो yoga करता है और suppose let's assume somebody is a gymnastics. उसका balance is at baseline is better than my balance. जब उस patient को if by chance unfortunately MS होता है, उनकी decline will be slower as compared to somebody जो पहले से ही is not exercising or is not in the best functional status. तो एक word होता है, it's not just used for MS, it's called functional status. Functional status means आपका baseline पर कितना function है. अगर आपका baseline functional status अच्छा है, you have good balance, you do gait and balance exercises. अच्छा इसमें difference होता है. There's something called regular, and I'm sure we have doctors of physical therapy, they'll explain. MS में आप तो stroke symptoms नहीं हो रही थी, एक side weak हो गया है. It's gait and balance आपती जाती है. You are more prone to falls. Speech में भी आप तो speech में ये नहीं होगा कि आप जैसे बोल नहीं सकते. Your speech will not be clear. It will be dysarthric. So again, the same principle applies. Whenever I see any of these diseases, जब MS देख रहा हूँ या patient of dementia देख रहा हूँ, मेरे mind में एक ही चीज़ होता है, how am I going to make my patient outrun this disease? अब MS में एक problem होती है. MS starts at the prime of your life. A lot of young women or men will develop MS when they are in their early 20s. भगवान करे सबकी life expectancy 80 years हो, 85. You have nearly 50 years to outrun the disease. And आप वो EDSS scale जो होता है, expanded disability status scale में धीरे धीरे बढ़ेंगे. And by the time you reach 5.5 on that scale, जो scale आपका 0 to 10 जाता है, you are on a wheelchair. How do you outrun that disease? It's a very tough thing. But as the doctor said, the earlier you start the physical therapy, the better is your functional status, और जितना आप करेंगे, your decline will be less appreciable. It may not stop completely, but you will learn how to adapt. So my principle always is to build the reserve. As soon as I see the patient, I'll say, अच्छा ठीक है, मैं आपको ये medicine दे रहा हूँ, whatever medicine it is, a disease modifying therapy. पर मैंने बोला भाई आपने मुझे आगे रास्ते में मिलना है. You have to shake hands with me midway. And what does that mean? You have to start doing a lot of gait and balance exercises, a lot of other physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. So I always look at these diseases in that frame of mind, and I encourage these patients to get, many times I'll say, you don't even need a physical therapist. Sorry, don't mind my saying. What I mean to say is that आप जाइए exercises सीखिए and then start doing it at home. You should do it 3-4 times a day. ये नहीं थी बस मैं once जब 3 बार therapist आएंगे, the doctor of therapy will come, तभी आप कर रहे हैं. It's not rocket science. आप सीख सकते हैं and you do it. The more you do it, the better you will be able to manage that decline जो होने वाली है over a period of time. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of youngsters go to gym. Do you recommend that?
Yeah, absolutely. I am a big, if you ever see my social media profile, I'm big on exercising, and I feel training, you have a good athletic trainer, gym trainer, somebody who's mature. देखिए जो भी आप एक्सरसाइज करें यू हैव टू डू इट विद द अंडर सुपरविजन. ये नहीं है कि आप ऐसी एक्सरसाइज कराई हो आप गिर गए हड्डी टूट गई. that's the worst thing you can happen, because then you're on bed and or decline होगी. So if you find a good trainer who can then help you, absolutely, I think that is a very practical way. One thing I always believe is you have to bring the exercise to the patient rather than taking the patient to the exercise. Gym is easy. The problem with gym is many of us will not go to the gym every day or every second day. Life is busy. How do you bring that home? How do you replicate those exercises in the comfort of your home? The more practical you are, I think the way you help these patients out.
डॉक्टर हितेश, आप ज़रा फिजियोथेरेपी के बारे में बताएंगे कि डू यू थिंक पीपल हु डू फिजियोथेरेपी फॉर MS persons should be trained in MS physiotherapy?
So, with your permission, I'll pass this to Dr. Pandey, as he is a physiotherapist.
I'm sorry.
And
I'm sorry. Dr. Pandey, yes. You are OT.
Yes, thanks,
Okay.
ma'am. I'll just take it forward as very rightly Dr. Sethi was explaining, and Dr. Vineet said that it is as early as possible is important. The one thing what I have noticed that initial stage, sir, as you said, that ये कोई ज़रूरी नहीं है कि लेट में जब उसकी बैलेंस और ये सारी चीज़ें जब प्रॉब्लम आ जाएं तभी शुरू करें. And it is, Dr. Sethi very rightly mentioned that reserve, we have to work on reserve. What our principle is, as a physiotherapist, is that जब MS किसी को होता है तो it is a progressive kind of disease, we know, right? So एक optimal strength level पे जब हम होते हैं, all the physical functions like good balance, we have good strength. So it start deteriorating, right? So our core focus is to how we can ramp it, that ramp, how it is going down over the year, like slowly you are deteriorating your physical function, how we can prolong that, right? So that slope, we try to make it longer slope, right? So let's say you have diagnosed with MS today at the age of 20, right? And at the age of 30, you will have a lot of progressions, in a lot of remission, lot of episodes where you will have balance impairment, you will have swallowing, or maybe it may come, it may not come. But what as a physiotherapist I try to slope, that slope you are going through, that your physical deterioration, I will try to lengthen it up, right? The problem you are going to have in last 10 years, I will try to have it on 20 years, right? So that is how I can improve quality of life of an MS patient.
Yeah, well, my question was, there are many physiotherapists. Do you think MS physiotherapy is different from normal physiotherapy? How is it different?
Yes, definitely. See, when you talk about a stroke, it is not a progressive kind of disease. This is why I explained that why I am going to slope it down, that longer, making the slope longer, because it is a progressive disease. So, and more you reserve, as Dr. Sethi said, more you reserve, you will have a longer time to have a good quality of life. So definitely it is a different, we have a lot of techniques that more and more focused on these progressive kind of disorders, like balance training, like coordination training. And MS will have a all kind of neurological dysfunction. It is not in a focus. Like if you talk about stroke, you have a motor dysfunction. But MS, it is not the case. You will have balance impairment, you will have coordination impairment, you will have the swallowing impairment. So definitely it is different. And an MS physiotherapist should have all knowledge of these kind of therapy. So take care of these multi-dimensional dysfunctions in MS patients. So that's how it is different.
Yeah, at MSSI Delhi, we run a physiotherapy project, and most of our physiotherapists are here itself. They are usually trained by All India Medical Institute or Dr. Jasmine Anandabai from the medical college, Meerut Medical College. What's the name of that?
Subharti Medical College.
Yes?
Subharti Medical College.
Subharti Medical College. She's a dean over there. Every year we train them because there are a variety of things. Dr. Harpreet Singh, he trains. He's excellent in physiotherapy. And I will suggest that please do not keep a physiotherapist who doesn't even know what is MS. Sometimes I've seen in my life also, people who assist a physiotherapist start saying that they are physiotherapists. Be careful of that and go to a qualified physiotherapist who understands MS and does your physiotherapy. And regarding occupational therapy, how does it help, Dr. Hitesh?
Good afternoon, all of you. First of all, thank you for inviting me.
Mic closer.
Yeah. First of all, I say let's forget that there is a patient, or let's forget that we are patients. Okay. I give an example, like with the evolution of technology and time. Like पहले ladies कपड़े धोते थे, है ना, हाथ से. आजकल क्या है? वॉशिंग मशीन. वॉशिंग मशीन में भी आजकल क्या है कि कुछ भी नहीं करना, ड्रायर भी है, उसमें सब कुछ ऑटोमेटिक है, गाड़ी ऑटोमेटिक है. तो ऐसा तो नहीं है ना कि दे आर डिसेबल, बट दे आर सिंप्लीफाइंग द वर्क. सो यहाँ पे भी हमें ये समझना है, एक्सरसाइज, न्यूरो ट्रीटमेंट, एवरीथिंग दैट इज़ ओके, ओके. बट जो डेली की नीड्स हैं, जो हमें डेली परेशान हो रहे हैं हम लोग, फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल सुबह उठते ही हमें करवट कैसे लेनी है, हम उठ पा रहे हैं कि नहीं, हमें उठाने के लिए कितने लोगों की मदद चाहिए, हमें फ्रेश होने के लिए क्या क्या इश्यूज़ आ रहे हैं, क्या बैरियर्स आ रहे हैं. तो हमको फंक्शनल पॉइंट से सोचना है, दैट इज़ मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट मुझे लगता है एट दिस पॉइंट. हर एक का अपना पॉइंट हो सकता है कि आज हो सकता है किसी को सिर्फ थोड़ा बैलेंस में इशू है, कोई इस पॉइंट पे हो कि किसी को ज़्यादातर फंक्शंस में इश्यूज़ आ रहे हैं, ड्रेसिंग, बेदिंग, बाहर जाना, वोकेशनल, परचेजिंग, शॉपिंग, कैलकुलेशन, मैथमेटिक्स, मेमोरी. तो इन फंक्शंस को हम कैसे सिंप्लीफाई कर सकते हैं यूजिंग सम गैजेट्स, सम टूल्स, सम न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी. दैट शुड अवर एम टू हाउ वी कैन सिंप्लीफाई द लाइफ सो दैट any person can continue enjoying the routine life. So that is basically occupational therapy is. अब कौन से फंक्शन हैम्पर्ड हैं, कौन से फंक्शन ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लमेटिक हैं, दैट इज़ वी हैव टू असेस. उसमें गेट हो सकता है, उसमें फीडिंग हो सकता है, उसमें आपका मेमोरी, कॉग्निशन, सब कुछ हो सकता है. तो उनको इंडिविजुअली आइडेंटिफाई करके हाउ वी कैन हेल्प देम, हाउ वी कैन क्रिएट अ बेटर इन्वायरमेंट, and both for caregivers as well. And here I must say that it is equally challenging for caregivers, है ना, day
Correct.
and night they are, I know, ma'am, I know how. So I think more than a MS person, we need to take care of the caregiver as well, how to make them strengthen more so that they can take up with a more challenging. And here I must say that especially I am not here to motivate you, rather I am getting motivation, the courage you show, both caregivers and MS people. So thank you very much. So this is all about occupational therapy.
Yeah. Occupational therapy includes speech therapy also. Will you
Yeah,
say something about it?
Yeah, it's a function. So, like my interest of area is the swallowing and voice. So, like these are also muscles. So, at one stage, people do get trouble in swallowing pills, especially. दवाई सटकने में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है. ऑफनली वी गेट चोकिंग. खाते हुए पीते हुए खाना अटकने लगा है, आँख नाक से पानी आ जाता है, सांस चढ़ने लगता है, या रिकरेंट चेस्ट इन्फेक्शन होते रहते हैं. तो स्वॉलोइंग इज़ अ वेरी क्रिटिकल फंक्शन इन आवर लाइफ. सो अगर हम ऐसे कोई सिम्टम्स देख रहे हैं, ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं, देन वी डू गेट अ स्वॉलोइंग असेसमेंट. सिमिलरली वॉइस इज़ ऑल्सो अ मसल्स, वोकल कॉर्ड मसल्स, लेरिंजियल मसल्स. सो MS का एक सर बैठे हैं, लाइक इट्स अ टिपिकल फीचर दैट इज़ फटीग. ओके, सो व्हेन फटीग कम्स, सो फटीग इज़ थकान. जब बॉडी थकती है तो सारी मसल्स थक रही हैं, है ना, हमारा माइंड थक रहा है, तो इट विल अफेक्ट योर स्वॉलोइंग एंड वॉइस मसल्स एज वेल. सो एज आई इनिशिएटेड माई टॉक, सो वर्क सिंप्लीफिकेशन, कैसे हम अपनी एनर्जी को बचाएं सो दैट हमारे फंक्शंस ख़राब ना हो, दैट इज़ द इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. वो चाहे फंक्शन वॉइस का हो, स्वॉलोइंग का हो, उसमें क्या इशू आ रहा है. अगर मसल्स ऑलरेडी वीक हो गई हैं तो हाउ कैन वी क्रिएट अ मॉडिफाइड इन्वायरमेंट. कौन सा खाना है जो अटकेगा नहीं, खाने को कैसे हम मॉडिफाई करें. राइट पोस्चर क्या है खाने का जिसमें कि खाना नहीं अटके. तो इन्वायरमेंटल मॉडिफिकेशन, फीडिंग की टेक्निक, डाइट का टेक्सचर, इन सब चीज़ों को, एंड प्लस सम एक्सरसाइज ऑफ टू इम्प्रूव swallowing muscles. तो इन सब को टुगेदर एज अ होलिस्टिक अप्रोच वी ट्राई टू इम्प्रूव एंड प्रिवेंट एज वेल वॉइस एंड swallowing function.
Okay. Dr. Pandey, do you have any specific exercises for MS? Especially, I feel normally MS persons feel that when the physiotherapist who's qualified is coming and doing the similar kind of exercises every day, after some time they end up feeling कि ये तो मैं भी कर लूँगी और मैं भी कर लूँगा, अपने आप करूँगा. फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट के को बोलते हैं कि बस आप 1 महीने के लिए नहीं आइए, मैं अपने आप करूँगा. इट डजंट हैपन, बिकॉज एक दिन करेंगे, 6 दिन नहीं करेंगे, बिकॉज इट्स अ डिफ़िकल्ट स्टेट फॉर देम. आई अंडरस्टैंड देयर पोजिशन, बट दे थिंक दैट वे, इवन द केयर गिवर्स थिंक दैट वे, ये तो मैं ही करवा दूँगी. होता नहीं है. आप थोड़े दिन करेंगे, छोड़ देंगे. या मैंने बहुत जने को देखा, दे के कम एंड टेल अस, ओ मेरे घर में शादी है, मेरे रिलेटिव्स आ रहे हैं. बिलीव मी, फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी इज़ यू योरसेल्फ. शादी होते रहेगा, रिलेटिव्स आते रहेंगे, आप अपना काम समय पर करेंगे, रेगुलरली करेंगे. क्योंकि आप जब छोड़ देते हैं फिजियोथेरेपी, आप बोलते हैं कि 2 महीना नहीं करेंगे फिर करेंगे, यू गो बैक टू ज़ीरो. एंड इट इज़ अगेन द फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट इज़ वर्किंग हार्ड ऑन यू कि भाई इनको फिर से उसी पोजीशन में लाए. आगे तो कर ही नहीं सकते उसी पोजीशन में. एंड फिजियोथेरेपी इज़ ऑल्सो समथिंग, you don't start running after getting physiotherapy done. Physiotherapy is improving your muscle strength, and which is very very important, because आपको चलने में दिक्कत है थोड़े से, तो आप ज़्यादा चलते नहीं हो, आप गिरने से डरते हो. You have to have external people to help you. घर वाले नहीं कर सकते हैं. मैं भी रोज़ बोलती हूँ मैं रोज़ जिम जाऊँगी, हफ्ते में 1 बार भी पहुँच जाऊँ तो बड़े खुश होती हूँ. So this is the same thing for everybody. And आप क्या कहते हैं, मतलब how should it be spaced out, physiotherapy for MS person, and do you think any changes should take place each time?
Yes, it is very difficult for anybody to get motivated throughout their life, right? And you are very rightly said, it is not that caregiver and other people's role here to make the MS people motivated. And why they are reluctant to do exercise is there is a one very crucial reason behind that. When the MS people have a very prominent feature causing fatigue to them, right? So when they get fatigue while doing exercises and start getting some kind of pain or cramps or other kind of things while doing exercises, so they get demotivated. So our role also, and caregiver roles and family roles also comes here, that they educate them that why they are not feeling like doing exercises themselves. When physiotherapists are there with them, then they give a motivation that you do it in that way, they guide them. But when their fatigue get prominent, they try to feel that no, I don't want to do. So they will have some kind of excuses. Even in a normal people will have excuse not to do exercise when they don't want to do. So they have already that fatigue symptoms. So the most important thing is we have to keep them motivated. We have to educate them about the symptoms and why it is important. And of course, it is very impractical to go to everyday physiotherapy at home or outside. So we can pace it, like we can train them some of home exercises, some of exercises which can be done with the therapist. So this is how actually we do. Like we design some home task for physio, for MS patients, and some task which has to be done in, I mean 2 or 3 days visiting the physiotherapy center, or may other days they can do themselves, or 2 days to gym. Something kind of that program has to be constructed. So then they feel motivated, and there has to be some variety of exercises. It should not be very monotonous exercises, so they get bored doing those exercises. So this is how we can pace and we can come out of these challenges.
What is the frequency? I mean, हफ्ते में कितनी बार जैसे करना चाहिए फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट को exercises for MS, and of course in between they should do themselves few exercises which you will be teaching.
Like, see, it depends on how disabled they are at EDDS scale, how disabled they are, what kind of exercises they are able to do. Like somebody has, for example, somebody has a balance impairment, same times they have some coordination issues as well. Somebody has some muscle strength also is weak. So we cannot have all the exercises together one day. They will get fatigued, and they will get demotivated when they start getting fatigued. So what we can do one day is focused on, although there will be some exercises all together, but one day is focused on more of working on coordination. One day we can work it on balance exercises, balance training. One day we can have some strength training. So they will have a variety of exercises, and we can keep them motivated. So maybe 3 days, as per me, 3 days in doing exercises is absolutely fine. And even the AHA, American Heart Association, also has guideline that 150 minutes of weekly exercise is good for general people. So we can have somewhere around that. So 3 days in a week and a supervised physiotherapy is quite good.
Okay, good. We recommend similarly 12 sessions a month. That is 3 days in a week, and the rest they can do themselves. They shouldn't be inactive. They should be active all the time. As much as you can, when you are sitting also, you can keep rotating your hand. You can keep doing little things which is strengthening you more. Dr. Jason, say in case of high spasticity, what do you recommend?
So spasticity, you have to see which part of the body is spastic. From me, medically you would treat them. So medically we have drugs, quite effective medications, which can reduce spasticity. And also beyond that, then if it is not getting controlled with medications, because these antispastic drugs also cause certain degree of drowsiness, so their involvement and participation may reduce. So if they are not able to handle those medications, then you have, if it is focal, you can give Botox. That is basically to reduce spasticity. But again, these are large muscles, so the amount of Botox given is higher, so the cost and expense goes up. Then there are also, if it is not getting better, you can put baclofen pumps, especially for the lower limb, if they are really struggling. But that has to be done, very carefully. I mean, after putting the pump, it should not be
under a neurophysician properly. That's
yes,
the thing.
Yes. So there are a lot of options to be able to manage spasticity.
ओके एंड डॉक्टर नितिन, आप बताइए आपका एक्सपीरियंस अबाउट फिजियोथेरेपी, ऑक्यूपेशनल थेरेपी एंड न्यूरो फिजिशियंस कंबाइनिंग टुगेदर एंड लुकिंग आफ्टर अ person, imaginary person, how much he can improve and what will be his quality of life.
See, देखिए मेरा experience is very simple.
I think you have to take the mic closer.
I did my residency and training in Cornell and I work there also. We have a MS center. India में अभी MS centers नहीं है, जैसे आपका stroke center है. MS center basically means under one roof जब patient enter करता है, under one roof you have neurologists who are trained in MS. अच्छा इसका मतलब क्या है? देखिए इंडिया में neurologists do everything. अभी मैं वापस जाऊंगा PSRI में, I will see maybe one MS patient, I'll see 10 migraine patients, backache. USA में क्या होता है, स्पेशलाइजेशन हो गई है, तो वो न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट जो उस MS सेंटर में हैं वो पूरा दिन MS ही देख रहे हैं. Now I'm not saying that they are better than me, but experience does make you better. So that neurologist is highly trained कि भाई MS patients तो मैंने कैसे देखना है. Under that roof you also have therapists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists. अच्छा एक social worker होता है. Please understand, you have to heal the brain and you have to heal the mind. MS में there is a big component of these people will go into anxiety, depression. Maybe as we progress with this discussion, there will be a question on that. So there is a social worker. There are other psychologists. जो अदर आप डिप्रेशन में जा रहे हैं या केयर गिवर बर्न आउट हो रहा है, केयर गिवर्स जो हैं पूरा दिन आपकी देखभाल कर रहे हैं, केयर गिवर विल गेट बर्नड आउट. हाउ डू वी सपोर्ट द केयर गिवर? So what I am trying to say here is MS is a multidisciplinary management. इंडिया में क्या होता है, अनफॉर्चुनेटली MS केयर इज स्कैटर्ड. आप एक हॉस्पिटल में जाएंगे उस अपने MS डॉक्टर तो देखने, then you will go somewhere else to meet your therapist, physical therapist or occupational therapist. Then you are going somewhere else, the other मुझे Botox चाहिए, pain management, or some doctor who's skilled in Botox, वो आप तो Botox दे रहे हैं spasticity के लिए. That's unfortunately a big burden on patients. Care, if we have to really understand, MS remains a multidisciplinary disease which is managed by multiple disciplinary teams. अगर आप तो bladder problem हो रही है, urinary incontinence हो रही है, you might need a urologist to be on board. आप तो frequent UTI हो रहे हैं, you are doing intermittent self-catheterization. भैया, I will need a urologist to help me out. I may not be the skilled कि भाई इस bladder तो कैसे manage करना है, neurogenic bladder तो कैसे manage करना है, कौन सी drugs हैं, क्या करूँ. So I strongly feel that where we should head in India is MS centers. बड़े hospitals में जहाँ facilities हैं, let's encourage them to understand. India maybe अब MS is common. Ms. Gupta mentioned my father. My father is a neurologist for many years. I look up to him as probably the best neurologist I know. मेरे फादर बताते थे जब वो थे उस समय MS इंडिया में होता ही नहीं था. It was thought that MS is a Western disease. इंडिया में तो MS है ही नहीं. अब क्या चेंज हुआ है? Is it the fact that doctors are just recognizing MS better? Is it the fact that MS societies बनी हैं which are raising the voice कि भाई हमें help करिए? We are here, we need treatment. Is it the fact कि अब MRIs आ गए हैं, जो अच्छे MRIs हैं, जो आपके plaques तो pick up कर रहे हैं? So MS now is increasingly common in India. ये कहना कि ये Western disease है, rightly so, it happens more commonly in Europe, Scandinavian countries, USA में हम as residents we see a lot of MS, so even our training we become very comfortable with MS management. But MS is now a problem or a disease which is here to stay. It affects people in the prime of their lives. These patients need care for the entire duration of their lives. And I strongly feel वो care multidisciplinary होनी चाहिए. And we have to somehow, all the stakeholders, whether those are doctors, whether they are MS Society of India, जो भी हैं, we have to come together. Maybe it's high time now एक MS center भी बने, किसी बड़े hospital में बने, पर बने तो that's where the treatment will become standardized. आप अंदर जाते हैं, आप neurologist से पूछते हैं भाई कौन सी disease modifying therapy लूँ. That neurologist in his life has only seen maybe 5 MS patients. वो क्या बताएंगे आपको? Experience makes doctors also good. अगर आप में से टफ क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, टेकफिडरा बेटर है कि ऑक्रीवस बेटर है, इसमें इतना डिफरेंस है प्राइस का, कौन सी लूँ मैं, कौन सा नहीं लूँ. Knowledge is important. And so I feel multidisciplinary care, MS centers, we should organize everybody, and we should try to promote the fact that this is a disease which needs to be managed comprehensively. पेशेंट और केयर गिवर पर ओनस डालना कि आप भागो यहाँ वहाँ ढूंढो कौन सा डॉक्टर है जो आप लोग बेटर ट्रीट करेगा, आई थिंक इट्स वेरी हार्ड फॉर केयर गिवर्स टू डू दैट एंड फॉर पेशेंट्स टू डू दैट. थैंक यू.
Yes, actually, there is a research going on this topic. Like Dr. Sethi is saying, once you are diagnosed, even to get diagnosed, you take a lot of time. Okay, you go to the hospital. There are various tests. There are this and that and all, and waiting period is very long. So, MS person who's got fatigue, they find it very, very difficult. Even the caregiver finds it very difficult to handle them. So actually my nephew, who is oncologist, has got away little aside and is researching the distance between a doctor and a patient. When you get down at the hospital, I will say any big hospital, the patient has to go a long way. He has to look for a wheelchair. By the time he reaches the doctor's place, he's already exhausted, especially MS people. And then waiting period starts because unfortunately in our country we have limited neurophysicians. And there's a long waiting. I've been to Madhya Pradesh, UP, everywhere, Bengal. I've seen CCTV cameras. जितने आप लोग बैठे हुए इतने पेशेंट बैठे हुए, जालंधर, अमृतसर, इतने पेशेंट बैठे हुए हैं, वो अकेले डॉक्टर क्या करेंगे? So how do we reduce this gap? By forming MS clinic, जो इन्होंने बोला, where everything is there at one forum. Maybe not many in a big city like Delhi. There can be 2 comprehensive MS clinics where they will find everything there. We are actually working towards that. We've been able to do it in All India Medical Institute, where every Tuesday they see MS people. It is a special MS clinic. Similarly, we want to do for other institutes also. So there you all have to help. You have to keep on suggesting to the doctors कि एक जगह हो जहाँ हमारे को फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट के बारे में पता लग सकता है, occupational therapist के neurophysician तो है, and as Dr. Saab is saying, there is no MS specialist. Once a doctor came from America and I asked, it was written MS specialist next to him. I asked him, do you do special course for MS to become a MS specialist? He says, no. The more patients you see, the more MS persons you see, the more experience you gain, you become MS specialist like that. Similarly, for physiotherapists, occupational therapists also, the more they know about MS and the more they see people, they become specialists. I will call all the physiotherapists at the back who are sitting from MSSI to be MS physio specialist. ठीक है, आज बोलना क्या आ रहा है बस. हाँ ठीक. तो इसमें ऐसा है, see there are benefits, similarities between what PT and OT. OT जो है, आप क्या क्या चीज़ आसान करते हो पेशेंट के लिए, क्या क्या किस फील्ड में?
Like occupational, whatever occupation starts from the self-care. So
Yes.
self-care is हमको डिसेबिलिटी का एहसास कब होता है जब हम कुछ कर नहीं पाते, है ना। फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल अगर मुझे वॉशरूम जाना है और मुझे किसी की हेल्प की ज़रूरत पड़ रही है तो आई फील डिसेबल। बट अगर वही काम मैं लीस्ट हेल्प से कर लूँ, 2 जनों के बजाय मैं एक हेल्प से कर लूँ या बिना हेल्प के कर लूँ, फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल व्हील चेयर है, मोटराइज्ड व्हील चेयर है, बाथरूम का मॉडिफिकेशन है, किसी भी तरह से मैं अपने वर्क को सिंप्लीफाई करके जहाँ से फॉल रिस्क भी मेरा कवर हो और जहाँ मेरी मैनुअल हेल्प भी रिड्यूस हो, दैट वुड बी माई एम। तो दैट फंक्शन कुड बी योर सेल्फ केयर। सेल्फ केयर में आता है बेदिंग, ड्रेसिंग, लोकोमोटर, वॉकिंग, ईटिंग, फीडिंग, swallowing, communication. Then your vocational functions like going to shopping, money calculation, money skills, organizing your almiras and everything for housewife, cooking. In cooking, what challenges home ladies are facing, like in cooking or cutting and chopping, how we can make it more simpler and safe for them so that they can continue enjoying their work. सो दैट वुड आवर एम कि जब तक हो सके कुछ भी करके हमको वर्क को कंटिन्यू करना है, बिकॉज दैट इज़ द मेन स्टिग्मा जब हम कुछ नहीं कर पा रहे, है ना।
Yes, I also say सब कुछ ना कुछ कर सकते हैं.
हाँ जी,
It is not, yes, it is difficult, but
जैसे आई
one can't.
गेव एग्जांपल के पहले हम गाड़ी लेडीज़ को गेयर वाला गाड़ी जो है वो इश्यूज आते थे, तो वो ऑटोमेटिक गाड़ी, तो नॉर्मल लोग भी ऑटोमेटिक गाड़ी दे आर प्रेफरिंग, है ना। पहले किसी को पोलियो है या कुछ है या लेग में प्रॉब्लम है तो दे वर ऑप्टिंग ऑटोमेटिक कार, बट नाउ नॉर्मल पीपल आर ऑप्टिंग. तो इट्स जस्ट हाउ वी आर सिंप्लीफाइंग,
Improve your lifestyle.
सो
Quality of life,
दैट्स
that's
द ऑनगोइंग प्रोसेस, तो वो हमें अडेप्ट करना होगा.
Yeah, I'll hand over the session to Meenakshi Bhujwala. She'll take on from here, and because something important has come up.
Thank you, Bipasha. Nothing, I think there is a lot has been already said. We were thinking that अब हम थोड़े से अगर आप लोगों को कुछ सवाल करने हैं specifically, तो we would like to take some question answers also, Dr. Saab, if that's all right. Is there anybody in the audience who would like to ask anything regarding any problem you are facing? हाँ, प्लीज़ आप यहाँ पे जो जेंटलमैन विद द मास्क जी, आई विल ट्राई एंड गेट यू. कैन यू जस्ट हैंड ओवर, सॉरी, देयर शुड बी समबडी. हाँ, आशीष जी.
Sir, I just want to ask one question.
थोड़ा माइक अपने मुंह के पास रखें जी.
I just want to ask one question related to the physiotherapy. Like, if a patient is facing any issue with some, like walking or something, so like in MS physiotherapy, as you told, like it is combination of everything we are taking care, like means coordination and means other stuffs also we are taking care. So is it like he or she has to do all the muscle training and other stuffs, or it's only concentrated to his that time only for the walking or leg physiotherapy like that?
आई थिंक ये पूछना चाहते हैं कि एक ओवरऑल मसल मतलब आपकी फिटनेस होनी चाहिए या केवल हम एक ही अंग को कॉन्सेंट्रेट?
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है कि उसको एक ही अंग को आपको करना है. सी, व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट फंक्शंस, मसल्स, ब्रेन जो है हमारा या बॉडी सिस्टम, वो किसी एक इंडिविजुअल मूवमेंट को नहीं समझता है, वो फंक्शन को समझता है. यानी वॉकिंग इज़ अ फंक्शन ना. सो वॉकिंग के लिए भी मुझे मेरी ट्रंक भी इन्वॉल्व होती है उसमें, मेरी टांगें भी उसमें इन्वॉल्व होती हैं और मेरा दिमाग भी इन्वॉल्व होता है. इवन भी हैंड मूवमेंट भी उसमें होती हैं. तो अगर उसको ठीक से चलना है, सो इन सारे बॉडी पार्ट के कोऑर्डिनेशन ज़रूरी है. सो मैं उसके ऊपर सिर्फ उसके मैं पैरों की एक्सरसाइज नहीं करवाऊँगा, उसकी उस फंक्शन को अचीव करने के लिए एक्सरसाइजेज हैं ऐसी डिज़ाइन करूँगा. एक चीज़ कही जाती है हमारे रिहेबिलिटेशन साइंस में, टास्क स्पेसिफिक एक्सरसाइजेज. सो हम जब टास्क स्पेसिफिक एक्सरसाइजेज, टास्क मतलब चलना उसके लिए एक टास्क है ना. जैसे अभी डॉक्टर हितेश बता रहे थे कि हम वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग देते हैं, वो क्या नहीं कर पा रहा है उसको वो चीज़ सिखाना है. तो अगर उसकी प्रैक्टिकलिटी होगी, उसकी रिलेवेंसी होगी उसकी लाइफ में, जिस चीज़ को हम सिखा रहे हैं, यानी वॉकिंग है तो उसकी रिलेवेंसी है ना लाइफ में कि मुझे इस फंक्शन को गेन करना है, तो मुझे मोर एंड मोर उसकी ट्रेनिंग देनी पड़ेगी। आजकल बहुत एडवांस है, जैसे रोबोटिक्स गेट ट्रेनिंग है, हालांकि हर जगह रूरल जगह पे इन्वॉल्व नहीं है वो, बट डेफिनेटली मेरा फोकस होगा कि उसके उस वॉकिंग फंक्शन को अचीव करूं, ना कि उसकी स्ट्रेंथ को अचीव करूं। सो स्ट्रेंथ ऑलवेज डजंट मीन कि वो एक फंक्शन में कन्वर्ट होगा। मुझे बहुत अच्छा स्ट्रेंथ हो सकता है, बट स्टिल आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू वॉक। लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल कि मेरे अंदर बहुत अच्छा स्ट्रेंथ है, मेरी कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं है, मेरा विजुअल कोऑर्डिनेशन ठीक नहीं है, मेरा बैलेंस ठीक नहीं है, या मैं लिम्स को कोऑर्डिनेट नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, एटेक्सिया हो रहा है, तो फिर भी मैं नहीं चल पा रहा हूँ, जबकि मेरे पास स्ट्रेंथ पूरी है। ठीक है, तो मेरा फोकस सिर्फ स्ट्रेंथ ट्रेनिंग पे नहीं होगा, मेरा फोकस हर चीज पे होगा उस कंपोनेंट पे जो उसके वॉकिंग जैसे फंक्शन को अफेक्ट कर रहा है। होप आई आंसर योर क्वेश्चन।
Yes.
So, ma'am, one more question.
Can we take one more question from someone? Yes, जी sir, बताएं.
There are some videos doing the rounds on bionic braces, which assist people in mobility, balance. Would you be able to throw some light on this? I read about some institute in Surat, and including one here in Lajpat Nagar, I think the Spine Institute.
Some assistive devices, bionic
Yes, yes.
assistive.
Assistive devices has a major role in rehabilitation, no doubt. There are different type of assistive devices. One assistive device is something like, it is not called assistive devices, actually therapeutic robot, right? The gait training robots and other, for arm also there are bionics braces. So there are one category which is called assistive device. I mean, I have a very weak legs, so I can wear it and it can assist me in walking. There is a motor and it will sense my muscles contraction. My muscle has no such strength, then I can move my leg, right? But it has some strength that it can generate some electrical potential, what we call as EMG activity in muscle. So that device will sense that, and soon I start moving my leg, it will assist that motor, electronic motor. So that is one kind. That is assistive kind, right? And there is another category which is used for therapeutic training. Like for example, initially, I said task specific exercise. So if I wear that and I keep on practicing, so I will learn those activities and it will gradually decrease the machine assisted. And as patients start putting more and more strength, getting more and more strength, and उसके साथ साथ जब वो ज़्यादा पार्ट मशीन पेशेंट लेने लगेगा, तो मशीन अपना पार्ट धीरे धीरे ऑटोमेटिकली कम करने लगती है. दिस इज हाउ इट इज मशीन ड्रिवन वॉकिंग टू ए सेल्फ ड्रिवन वॉकिंग हो जाएगी. So there are two categories and they have very good role, and this is a very emerging technique coming in rehabilitation sciences. So obviously, of course, we can use that, and yes, there are existing.
So will it be useful in MS? क्योंकि MS क्योंकि एक डिजेनरेटिव डिजीज़ है, उसमें जैसे रीमाइलिनेशन या उसमें उस तरह का पिकअप नहीं होता है जिस प्रकार आप कह रहे थे कि और डिजीज़ में होता है कि इवन अ स्ट्रोक पेशेंट कैन गेट बैक हिज वॉकिंग. बट इन MS विल दैट, द रीज़न वी आर आस्किंग इज़ क्योंकि यहाँ बहुत से लोग हैं जो शायद इस टेक्निक क्योंकि बढ़िया टेक्निक है उसमें पढ़ना चाहें, लेकिन लेट अस बी प्रैक्टिकल, इट इज़ एक्सपेंसिव. क्या हम अगर ये करेंगे तो हमें उसका सेम फ़ायदा होगा जो कि एक दूसरे न्यूरो पेशेंट को होगा, या MS में इसका यूटिलिटी लिमिटेड?
नहीं, MS में और दूसरे न्यूरोलॉजिकल इम्पेयरमेंट जो है उसमें थोड़ा डिफरेंस है, एज वी नो ऑल, राइट. सी MS के पेशेंट्स के साथ हमारे दो तरह के कॉन्सेप्ट होते हैं. एक होता है कि उसकी स्ट्रेंथ लेवल को हम मैक्सिमम फंक्शनल कैपेसिटी तक ले जाएं, राइट, एंड देन वी कीप इट ऑन मेंटेनेंस एक्सरसाइजेस. Like for example, if somebody has a completely deteriorated and they are not able to walk, but in my assessment they have potential to regain. So हमें ये चीज़ समझना है ना, रिहेबिलिटेशन का डेफिनेशन क्या है. रिहेबिलिटेशन का डेफिनेशन है टू मेक पीपल मोर एंड मोर, जितना पॉसिबल है उसको उसकी रीच पे ले जाए. अब जितना पॉसिबल है का मतलब अब जितना डैमेज हो चुका है उसको तो मैं रिवाइव नहीं कर सकता, बट रेजिड्यूल जो स्ट्रेंथ है और जो भी फंक्शन है, एटलीस्ट पहला प्रिंसिपल मेरा होगा कि उसको मेंटेन करके रखूं। एंड द सेकंड है कि जितना से ज़्यादा इम्प्रूव कर सकता हूं वो भी मेरा काम है, कि मैं जितना से ज़्यादा अगर वो उसकी फैटिग लेवल को मैनेज करूं, अगर वो व्हील चेयर बाउंड है ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ दैट कि दे हैव नॉट गेन दैट स्ट्रेंथ और उस लेवल की ट्रेनिंग नहीं हुई है, सो आई विल ट्राई टू वीन देम ऑफ फ्रॉम द व्हील चेयर, कि वो चलने लगे, एटलीस्ट कुछ डिस्टेंस चले, दे विल हैव कॉन्फिडेंस। सो मेरा दोनों गोल होगा, एक तो अगर वो डिटेरिएट हो रहा है उसके फंक्शंस को इम्प्रूव करना whatever possible way, and जितना भी possible मैं उसको improve करा सकता हूँ, और then maintain it. So it is practical in that, of course, if we can have that.
But Jyoti first, and then the lady behind her. Yeah. Can you give Ashish? Can you give the mic to Jyoti, please?
इसमें मैं एक चीज़ ऐड करना चाहूँगा।
जी।
जैसे आपने कहा कि
थोड़ा ऊंचा बोलिए।
वन हैज़ टू बी रियलिस्टिक।
Yes.
सो विच इज़ वेरी करेक्ट। उसमें एक होता है फिजियोलॉजिकल बेनिफिट।
जी।
तो जैसे हम एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं कि जो हमारा फिजियोलॉजी है, ब्लड का सर्कुलेशन है, जॉइंट्स की मूवमेंट है, तो उस पर्सपेक्टिव में भी हम यूज़ कर सकते हैं, नॉट ओनली विद द विजन ऑफ आउटकम। Also with doing that thing, it will give some sense of pleasure that I am able to do that.
Yes.
So we can have that much of reality rather than a complete outcome reality, you know. So वो demarcation हमें होना चाहिए while going towards all these kind
So
of.
while keeping expectations, at the same time being practical, कि ये अगर मुझे पूरी तरह से वापस मैराथन नहीं दौड़ाएगा, लेकिन मैं कम से कम आई फील बेटर, आई कैन स्टैंड अप फॉर समबडी हु इज सिटिंग, अगर वो खड़ा भी हो जाए तो वो भी बहुत
that is very important.
and for blood circulation and for other
I would
physiological
like to add one thing here, that very rightly Dr. Hitesh mentioned that the physiological function, like walking, if you are not walking, see your cardiopulmonary endurance is also going down. Okay, your wheelchair, if you are not walking, then your lungs are going to weak, okay, your heart is going to get weaker. So even if you are walking with an assistive device, at least sometime in a day, you will maintain your normal physiological function, you will keep them in a proper functioning. So that is another advantage we can have these assistive devices.
So overall health भी improve करेगी आपकी, and वो आपको उस बाकी चीज़ों को लड़ने की क्षमता देगी if your overall health is good. Yeah, Jyoti, please.
Yes, so you be doctor.
थोड़ा पास में रखें. Is the mic working? Can you just tap it?
Yes, please go ahead.
This assisted device, you mean it's useful in footfall?
In
footfall.
Foot drop. Yes, there are bionic, as Sir said earlier, mentioned that bionic devices. There is a functional electrical stimulation based bionic braces. Those who has a foot drop and their dorsiflexors, that जो मसल जो पैर को ऊपर उठाती है वो वीक है और या फिर किसी वजह से काम नहीं कर रही है, इतना स्ट्रेंथ नहीं है उसको, सो उसमें EMG बेस्ड एक ब्रेस होता है जिसको हम लगा लेते हैं। तो जैसे ही हम पैर को ऊपर करते हैं, थोड़ी बहुत भी फंक्शन हमारे उस मसल्स में होती है तो वो उसको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करने लगता है विद मीन्स ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिकल स्टिमुलेशन, सो हमारा पैर उठ जाता है, तो हमारी गेट नॉर्मलसी की तरफ हो जाती है। सो यस, दे आर इन एग्जिस्टेंस।
Okay, to the lady behind Jyoti.
Can I just add one
Yes, please.
neurological perspective to this? I think जैसे Mr. Singh asked an important question. देखिए, you must understand the pathology of disease. जो assisted device आपकी spinal cord injury patient, जिसकी spinal cord injury हो गया है, accident हुआ, road traffic accident, patient is quadriplegic, उसकी assisted device will be different or may work for him but may not work for a patient who has MS. A common disease, not so uncommon, is ALS, motor neuron disease. अब उसमें आपकी motor neurons die कर रहे हैं. Professor Stephen Hawkins तो थी. उनकी assisted devices may not work for MS patients. So Mr. Singh asked the important question, and I think आपने answer किया था. Before you go for these assisted devices, you have to ask that doctor or the physical therapist or the occupational therapist, is there any Are there any studies which have been done that this device helps an MS patient? Assisted devices are different for one which helps for a stroke patient. Even if you take foot drop, अगर आपकी यहाँ से आ रहा है, आपकी nerve S1 is getting crushed, and you have a foot drop, that may respond to the assisted device versus other aap to foot drop hai because of MS. So I think I'm echoing the point she raised. These are expensive devices. As patients and caregivers, you have to be knowledgeable. And there's no harm in asking the specialist, will this assisted device help my loved one for this problem? Maybe it has been used in stroke and it helped the stroke patient. Will it help the MS patient or not? And nowadays, there is enough research to answer these questions. These are not now कि भाई हो सकता है नहीं हो सकता. Show us the evidence. आजकल evidence-based medicine होती है. Where is the evidence that yoga helps MS? Where is the evidence that आप tai chi कर रहे हैं MS help करता है? कोई पूछने में हर्ज नहीं होता. You have to ask. And there are studies which tell you, do they help or not? If they help you, absolutely. If there's documented evidence, you have an option open. I'll try it. Thank you. I'll take it. If there's no documented evidence, you'll be a little skeptical. कि भाई help करेगी नहीं करेगी. As some of my patients ask me these type of questions, I tell them very frankly. I say, देखिए, there's no evidence that this device works for MS. But as long as I can reassure you that's not going to hurt you, it may help you. May is the word. It may help you. You want to try it, I'll support it. Be honest, at least tell the patient that what you feel. And I think that is a very important thing which you have to ask the neurologist or the whoever is saying this assisted device for this indication. All these diseases have different pathologies. So इसमें आपने ये question ज़रूर मेरे in my opinion बनता है asking, does this device work for MS patient? Your question was slightly framed differently. Does it help foot drop? All I'm saying is foot drop can have so many different causes. So many different causes. And a foot drop which is due to stroke, and आप AFO use कर रहे हैं, or a foot drop which is going to because of lumbar spine में आपको problem आ रही है, may or may not work for a patient who has ALS or MS. That's where I just wanted to make you just be a little wary as you explore these options. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ji, yeah, please.
Now, my query is that even a simple task as bracing up with the AFO also tires up a MS person quite often. I've observed it in center. Now, how far are these assistive devices helpful vis-a-vis bracing? Because when I inquired from the doctors, we were given information that the bracing up for these devices takes up so much energy from the MS patient that it is not worth that they use it till they come to a certain level.
You mean just getting in and out of
Yes,
these?
getting in and out of the device is so tiring that it doesn't leave any strength for the patient to use it also.
Yeah, so I understand your question. It all depends on what kind of a brace you are using. You know, if it's a simple brace, it should not tire you. But if it's a very complicated brace for you to be able to walk, then you might get tired.
This
So,
is about assisted devices.
but which
Which
particular
ones?
one? You know,
Anything
because
in
it's-
particular that you are
to be very
thinking of?
specific because.
The motorized ones.
But again, motorized what? You know, wheelchair is also motorized. So, oh, the robotic gaiter.
Yes,
Oh,
the
okay,
robotic
okay. So I don't have experience.
No, definitely, as Dr. Sethi was explaining, whether it is useful for that particular patient or not, right? So, see, we have to have a very choosy. में देखना पड़ेगा ना कि उसके लिए है या नहीं है वो, right? So, अगर वो wheelchair bound है, like for example cervical cord injury, spinal cord injury, उसको हमने लगा दिया और वो उसके सहारे चल रहा है. सो एक बार सुबह पहना और चल रहा है, दोपहर घूम रहा है, कहीं जा रहा है, उसके लिए ठीक है, वो यूजफुल है. बट फॉर MS पेशेंट वी नीड टू बी वेरी वेरी सेलेक्टिव और क्यों मैं हमेशा डिस्करेज करता हूँ ब्रेस को, कि मैं उसको चाहता हूँ कि वो अपनी फंक्शनल टास्क जितना हो सकता है खुद से करे, राइट लेकिन और जैसे सर ने बताया बहुत लेंदी ब्रेस है तो डेफिनेटली उसके लिए वो हैवी होगा, सो इफ देयर इज नो चॉइस देन दे हैव टू गो विद दैट, राइट उसको वो चीज़ टॉलरेट करनी ही पड़ेगी, राइट और अगर कर सकता है उसके अलावा तो इट इज़ वेरी इंडिविजुअल चॉइस दैट हाउ दे कैन चूज द डिवाइसेस.
Okay, another question from, this end.
I just wanted to ask, apart from these physiotherapies and OTs, can massages be helpful in relieving fatigue?
It's a very
for
common
MS
question,
patients?
Dr. Saab.
So actually, there was a very nice study done from, I think it is a European study, where they looked at all complementary therapies. By the way, आजकल हमें ना alternate therapy नहीं बोलते. पहले alternate होता था कि भाई मैं आयुर्वेदिक ड्रग ले रही हूँ, मैं एलोपैथिक नहीं लूँगी. आजकल हम बोलते हैं complementary है भाई. It's not that either of them. You can have both the therapies going at the same time. So suppose you are on a disease modifying therapy, whether it's Tecfidra, whether it's Ocrevus, whether it's rituximab, and you say, I like to add massage therapy, I like to add Tai Chi, I like to do acupuncture, acupressure. By the way, there are studies now which have been done on each of these things. Without getting into the specifics, जो मैं point बताना चाहता हूँ, a lot of the studies have shown that अगर आप objectively patient को follow करें, objectively means you're doing a proper study, 10 patients enroll करें, suppose 10 patients तो आपने टेकफिड्रा दे रहे हैं और 10 पेशेंट्स पर आपने मसाज थेरेपी भी करी, दूसरे 10 पेशेंट्स आपने सिर्फ टेकफिड्रा दिया, आपने मसाज थेरेपी नहीं करी. आउटकम क्या है? Outcomes which have shown with these complementary therapies is by and large the outcome is the same. Massage is not going to reverse MS or make MS better, but yes, patients say I felt better, मुझे आराम मिला, I felt good जब मुझे मसाज थेरेपी हुई. That is a very important point, and you say अच्छी बात है, लीजिए करिए, why not? If acupressure works for you and you come back and say that after acupressure Dr. Sethi मुझे stiffness कम होती, I feel better, even though I know that probably it is not going to change the outcome of MS वैसे ही बढ़ेगी, but if my patient is saying subjectively I feel better, why not? That's why अब हमारे, आप तो फिर से बताता हूँ, हमारे MS सेंटर में क्या होता है, सुबह एलोपैथिक डॉक्टर्स आते हैं लाइक हिम एंड मी, हम आए, हमने राउंड किया, हमने बोला हाँ ये टेकफिड्रा दे रहे हैं, ऑक्रीवस दे रहे हैं, टक्सीमैप दे रहे हैं, हमने अपना जो करना था कर गया. शाम तो द पेशेंट इज विजिटेड बाय अ मसाज थेरेपिस्ट, अ योगा इंस्ट्रक्टर, अ पिलाटे इंस्ट्रक्टर, एंड व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से हियर इज they have to go together. But आप तो as a patient you need to understand that the studies have shown that major कोई outcome नहीं होता in the disease progression. Disease will progress the way it is progressing. Every patient will have a different natural history of the disease. But subjectively, you will say, I feel better. And for me, as a doctor, and I think for all of us here, and for patients, that's very important. I'll say, अच्छी बात है, please करिए. As long as not hurting you, why not help you?
डॉक्टर साहब एक सवाल और है यहाँ पे रिलेटेड टू मसाज, वो ये है कि येस मसाज ओवरऑल लाइक यू सेड इट फील गुड फैक्टर तो होता है, लेकिन यहाँ पे बहुत सारे हमारे मेंबर्स हैं जो दे वांट टू डू मसाज एंड दे गो इन फॉर दिस यू नो केरला स्टाइल हॉट ऑयल मसाजेस एंड ऑल दैट. सो जब वो हमसे ऐसी बात करते हैं एज अ सोसाइटी वी ऑल्सो लाइक टू यू नो दे कम टू अस. So we just give this advice, please correct us in case we are wrong, कि avoid hot oil massages because heating is, as you know, is a complete no-no in MS. जहाँ heat को expose होते हैं तो the gets exacerbated. तो कई लोग तो पूरे therapies करने के लिए they go down south and they do 2-week, 3-week things, and honestly speaking, not many have. No, I don't think anybody has really come back with anything substantial.
आपने एकदम you have asked the right question, and that's why I answered. I said, as long as I know it's not going to hurt my patient, I tell the patient it may or may not help you, but it's not going to hurt you. So, जो main point है, the studies have clearly shown that MS patients don't do well in hot ambient temperature. Why? आपकी myelin strip हो गई है. As the temperature rises, your nerves will cross-talk. So MS patients are by and large advised, don't take a very hot shower. आप sauna में बैठे हुए हैं. That's probably not the greatest for you. You can take a lukewarm this thing. So I agree again, you have to be educated. Gentle massage, whether you're doing, suppose you're doing Swedish massage, deep tissue massage, ठीक है. पर आप hot room में बैठकर वो oil आपके सिर पर ढट ढट करके गिर रही है, obviously I'll say that's probably going to hurt you. You are going to end up probably worsening you than helping you. So that is a very good point that by and large, ambient temperature जब low होता है, MS patients do well. I'm sorry, the doctor wants to add something.
Yeah, see some forms of massage, now this is not directly from MS but from stroke, because essentially you're having spasticity.
Yes.
Some forms of massage can worsen the spasticity.
I was coming to that.
You know, so the whole point is being very aware. You know, as an MS patient, you have to be very aware of what we are getting involved in. So if it's a light massage, like Dr. Sethi was saying, it should not harm, you know. But then if you're going in for, you know, how people will come home, now the ones who are available, aa jayega, the masseur will reach. Sometimes it can lead to harm. And as a patient, it may be difficult for us to judge. It may set in after a few sessions. So where we were, we've actually declined.
Yeah,
So
Dr.
be
Sahib, you're
careful.
absolutely right. In fact, maybe Dr. Pandey can also elaborate.
Yes,
कि हम
see-
लोगों के साथ ये भी एक problem है कि मसाज के साथ we have faced problems with our patients कि वो spasticity को बहुत affect करता है. यदि जो भी muscle tone है वो इतना ज़्यादा relax हो जाता है कि आपका उठने बैठने में ज़्यादा दिक्कत होती है. Dr. Pandey ज़रा
In
विस्तार से
fact, it
बताएं.
is in reverse, ma'am.
Yes.
It can increase the spasticity as well because reflexes को stimulate करता है वो. और जब भी हम deep tissue बहुत दबा के या कोई ऐसे nociceptors जिसको बोलते हैं जो painful stimulus या बहुत strong stimulus अगर sensory stimulus हम बाहर से कहीं से देते हैं like deep massage and all that, so that can reverse मतलब increase the spasticity. तो बहुत केयरफुल रहना चाहिए दीज कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री थेरेपीज़ के बीच में, बिकॉज ये कई बार हार्म भी कर सकते हैं. जैसे सर ने बताया कि अगर वो हार्म नहीं कर रही है एंड इफ़ यू आर फीलिंग गुड आउट ऑफ दैट, लाइक मसाज इन ए सूदिंग थिंग, राइट. सो हल्का मसाज आप कर रहे हैं, आपकी थोड़ी बहुत सेंसरी स्टिमुलेशंस मिल रही है, यू फील रिलैक्स, यू फील काम, देन अप टू दैट इट इज़ अ फाइनल गुड. कि नुकसान नहीं कर रही है, फ़ायदा नहीं कर रही है, कोई बात नहीं, उसके लिए डिजीज़ मॉडिफाइंग एजेंट्स हैं, टारगेटेड थेरेपीज़ हैं, टास्क स्पेसिफिक एक्सरसाइजेज हैं, बट समटाइम्स यू फील रिलैक्सेशन एज वेल. सो अगर वो रिलैक्सेशन के पर्पज़ से है और हार्म नहीं कर रही है, देन इट्स गुड, अदरवाइज नो.
Okay. Another question from this lady. अच्छा सॉरी, आप 2 मिनट बैठेंगे पीछे? आप नहीं, आप आइए, आपने पहले हाथ उठाया था, माफ़ करिएगा जी.
Thank you, sir, for very informative talks. And I would like to ask 2 questions for my patient. First of all, where to get the information about the area-wise MS-specific physiotherapeutic centers? It is very confusing. If you Google it, if you search on internet, you really get confused. That is one question. And secondly, sir, any promising future, because since we are the caretakers of the patient, we keep looking at the research articles or various case studies regarding, for example, stem cell therapies and all these treatments, because we cannot subject our patient to various kind of hit and trial approaches. So, can you throw some
Madam,
light
may
on
I
that?
answer both your questions instead of the doctors?
Yes, you are the better person to answer that.
I just wanted to say regarding specific MS physiotherapy, एक तो हम लोग आपको पता है वी हैव अ टीम, सम ऑफ आवर टीम मेंबर्स आर हियर जो एमएस हमारी जैसे बिपाशा जी ने आपको पहले बताया कि हमारी एक बहुत बड़ी टीम है, उसी को हम लोग मैनेज कर पाते हैं जो हम दिल्ली एनसीआर में अबाउट 15-16 फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट आर अटैच टू अस एंड वो घर घर जाके फिजियोथेरेपी, तो दे हैव बीन स्पेशली ट्रेन्ड टू हैंडल एमएस केसेस। जहाँ तक सवाल बाहर फिजियोथेरेपी सेंटर्स का है जो एमएस स्पेसिफिक हैं, हमें भी उसके बारे में अभी कोई जानकारी नहीं है। हाँ, हो सकता है कि कोई न्यूरो फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट हैं जिनका एमएस के साथ एक्सपीरियंस रहा हो, उनके बारे में हमें वो जानकारी नहीं है, लेकिन we can try and help you locate them.
Okay.
Number 2 question जो आपने पूछा कि what is the future and what is the, आज का सेशन इसी सब्जेक्ट पे है और आप प्लीज़ पोस्ट लंच सेशन में हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए, ये सब सवालों के जवाब आपको मिल जाएंगे।
Thank you.
Yeah. जी, वो लेडी एट द बैक, and let's just keep it short and yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. My question is like you're saying that MS patients should not be exposed to extreme temperatures. But like when we exercise, our core body temperature rises and it is really tiring. So do you think that we should be doing it in a cold temperature or something like that? Or how to take care of us at that point of time, like while doing exercises?
So see, the link between ambient temperature and MS is exactly जो मैंने बताया था कि जब the thinking is जब आपकी nerves have been stripped of the myelin, जो आपकी insulation होती है, so as the temperature rises, वो nerves they cross talk. तो जैसे आपने sauna लिया, after the sauna you might come out and say, Dr. Sethi, I'm feeling more weak. ठीक है? So that to avoid that, usual recommendations are avoid extremes of heat, sauna, things like that. Now, the studies don't show that the other आप एक बार sauna में चले गए आपकी MS बढ़ जाएगी. It'll increase your symptoms for some time, you'll feel bad and then you'll kind of come back to the baseline. So by and large recommendations होती है, you can exercise. Certainly, I think if you exercise in a gym जहाँ आपका AC लगा हुआ है, you'll be probably be more comfortable. You'll be able to exercise without getting fatigue. आपने देखा है, all of us have mentioned the word fatigue in MS. Fatigue is a very subjective sensation. मतलब I cannot see your fatigue. Fatigue, patient बोलता है मुझे tiredness है. It's a very subjective thing. So fatigue अगर आपको नहीं हो रहा, the idea is not to exercise to the point of fatigue. So if you exercise probably in a AC gym, cooler environment, fan चल रहा है, I think that's more wiser and it's more practical than going out for a run or a walk in this hot, humid weather where right now we feel it's like 50 degrees outside. So that's the basic way. This is just a practical way of kind of dealing with this issue.
In fact,
yes, I'll add to that,
please,
sir.
please.
That a qualified physiotherapist who is aware about the MS, these things in MS, they will design your exercises like a circuit training in your program that will simultaneously, some muscles are warm and doing exercises, some muscles are cooling down. So a perfect combination of exercises where you're doing exercises, your muscle temperature goes up, some muscles are going down, so cool down, some high intensity exercises, then low intensity exercises. So in 1 hour session, you will have different pace of exercises. So this is where, as Madam very clearly said, that you have a specific MS therapist. So they must know how unique this disease is from other neurological impairments. So they can design an exercise in a better way that these challenges doesn't come in picture.
And I'd like to add one small line to that कि अगर जैसे हमारे फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट को हम लोग वैसे भी ब्रीफ करते हैं कि प्लीज़ डू इट इन स्मॉल मतलब विद स्मॉल इंटरवल्स, जैसे 15 मिनट किया, फिर थोड़ा सा रिलैक्स किया, थोड़ा सा ब्रीदिंग किया, थोड़ा सा इस तरह से. लेकिन अगर आप खुद भी एक्सरसाइज घर पे कर रहे हैं, सो वी ऑलवेज एडवाइज, इनफैक्ट इट्स इन ऑल ऑफ आवर बुक्स that we hand out, कि always try to keep the environment cool, पंखा, कूलर, AC जो भी आपके घर में हो, number 1. अगर आपको फिर भी लगे तो we keep a little, किसी बर्तन में थोड़ा सा ठंडा पानी रखिए, एक wet towel रखिए, थोड़ा निचोड़ के, थोड़ी देर के बाद neck, arms, ये अपना just cool down for 5 minutes, then start again. So these are just practical things you have to innovate. अपने आप खुद आपका body आपको signal देगा stop.
Ma'am, you call it is low intensity, high frequency exercises. I mean low intensity exercises several times in a day.
Yes.
Rather doing a very high intensity exercises for 1 hour, you can do it 15-20 minutes exercise, then after 3 hours some of other exercise, something like that. So low intensity, high frequency exercises are better for MS patients.
वरुण, आप कुछ पूछना चाहते हैं जी?
Very good afternoon. I just want to ask suggestion or treatment for blurred or double vision.
Sorry, beg your pardon?
Blurred vision or double vision. Treatment or suggestion.
Exercise. I don't think we can go into too much detail of that here, but.
So, देखिए blurred vision and double vision MS, you really पहले आपके neurologist बताएंगे cause क्या है. As you know, MS में एक condition होती है optic neuritis.
जी.
Lot of people the actually MS initially presents with optic neuritis. The optic nerve जो है वो आपकी neuritis is inflammation. तो optic nerve में सबसे पहले inflammation होती है. That's usually the first attack of MS. In many people, the first attack of MS थी मेरी vision चली गई थी right eye में. और after some time that myelin becomes again and your vision comes back to normal. Or you go to a doctor, उस समय आप तो high dose steroids दिए जाते हैं and आपकी वो optic neuritis चली जाती है, आप बोलते हो मेरा blurring of vision चली गई है, thank you. अच्छा, MS में is that जो आप blurred vision बोल रहे हैं, is it because of optic neuritis, multiple attacks of optic neuritis हो रहे हैं, क्या हो रहा है?
It is because optic nerve is damaged.
Yeah, so that is one thing कि भाई अगर optic neuritis है उसे कैसे treat करना है. Whether it's acute optic neuritis में you'll give a course of steroids. अगर आप तो वैसे है तो आपकी disease modifying therapy चल रही है. Now MS में double vision जो होता है वो slightly different होता है. That's because आपकी different nerves होती हैं जो eye movements control करती हैं. So there's something called internuclear ophthalmoplegia. एक आँख आपकी ढंग से move नहीं कर रही होती. So आपको double दिखाई देता है. That is a different part of the brain which gets involved. उसे कैसे manage करना है?
उसके कुछ exercises होते हैं क्या?
Exercises होते हैं definitely, and then also there are good ophthalmologists who can help you with the prism glasses and ये सब चीज़ें जिसमें आपकी जो वो, because double vision is very disabling. कभी आप तो double vision हो ना, you feel so disoriented, दो चीज़ें दिखाई दे रही हैं, you're so off. So first, my answer is very simple. First, figure out what is the cause of double vision or optic neuritis. Then, that will be the best person who will be the neurologist to figure it out, आपके neurologist. Then, treat कैसे करना है? Is it an acute attack of MS which needs steroids? Do the disease modifying therapy needs to be modified? And then rehab कैसे करना है? उसमें जैसे occupational therapy जैसे है, उसमें आई डॉक्टर तभी रोल आता है. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम ट्राइंग टू से कि भाई MS बड़ी मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी स्पेशलिटी होती है. कभी कभी आपको डिफरेंट डॉक्टर से पास रीच आउट करना पड़ता है कि भाई नाउ हाउ डू आई हेल्प माय पेशेंट जिससे ये डबल विजन आ रहा है.
But optic nerve is damaged, and even after taking so many steroids and the treatment.
Varun, we'll come back to that. There are some another question in the audience. There was a lady at the back who was asking. Yeah, right behind you. Please sit. Some of these questions will get answered during the course of the day today.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to ask about urinary incontinence that I do have. Are medicines the only reason, or physical physiotherapy, Kegel exercises are also helpful? Can you shed some light on it?
Dr. Pandey, Dr. Gupta बताएंगे. I think he will be able to help you.
So yes, because these are also muscles. So like physiotherapy, we are doing for limbs, for gait and everything. So similarly, we can keep these muscles also in a good shape. So Kegel exercise and bladder training, and how frequent there is a called bladder diary. So we can maintain that bladder diary so that we can avoid a sudden flow of urination. So by educating and by knowing our body, how our body is behaving throughout the day, maintaining a bladder diary, and there is some exercise. In exercise nowadays, there is a technique called EMG biofeedback, which we are using in our place also. Like it's a Kegel exercise only, but in Kegel exercise, because these muscles are very hidden. So as a therapist, I am instructing you to do this, but I believe that you are doing, but I will not be able to make out whether you are doing a right contraction or not. So there, these kind of gadgets helps us where therapist as well as a person can see on the machine how much power or contraction you are putting in. So this is called EMG biofeedback, which is very useful in training a Kegel exercise. So yes, there is a very good role of Kegel exercise in MS.
There was somebody there. Yeah, Shalini.
So just
you
to
have
add
a question?
Just to add a little bit more on urinary incontinence, because that's
Yes.
a big problem.
It's a very big problem.
There are two issues to look, whether it's an overactive bladder or if it's a storage problem. So based on that, the treatment will differ. So if it's an overactive bladder, there are medications that can be given. Some medications are better, some are not so good, and because MS is also a progressive condition, and if you have it early in the disease, then continuing these anticholinergics can affect cognition also. So there is we have to be careful when we take those medicines. It will help us now, but down the line it may affect our cognition. And also there are other ways that you can reduce the overactive bladder. There's Botox injections that you can give inside. That is for overactive. For storage problems, those are usually resistant to medical management. Then in those cases, you will have to do intermittent catheterization or drainage or use pads or other things, catheters. Depending on male, female, you'll have to make adjustments. So,
Shalini, you had a question?
Yeah. It's a very general question. How do you differentiate between symptoms of MS and a part of MS? Like before diagnosis, when I used to fall, they used to say MRI, anything. Now if I fall, nobody tells me to go in for MRI. Now everybody says it's a part of MS. So now why isn't it taken as a symptom of MS? Then I'm like, it's very confusing sometimes.
It's a very clear question that how do we deal with that? That do we go rushing to a doctor every time, or do we just treat it as part of the disease?
I'll make it simple if I understood your question right. देखिए इसमें क्या होता है MS में ये होता है कि आपको MS है, have you had a new attack or not? That's what you are trying to ask कि भाई मुझे कब पता चलेगा कि मुझे new attack हुआ है. So that's why MS patients, as the doctors will say, we follow these MS patients two ways. एक clinically होता है, जैसे आप 6 महीने के बाद या 3 महीने बाद मुझे दिखाने आए, I'll ask you, have you had any new symptoms? कोई नया attack of optic neuritis तो नहीं हुआ, नहीं डॉक्टर सेठी नहीं हुआ है, कुछ नए symptoms तो नहीं हुए हैं, that's clinical. या आप आएंगे, suddenly you have a sudden onset of loss of vision, भगवान ना करे, on one eye, you'll immediately come to a doctor and say, I'll pick up the phone and say, भैया मुझे suddenly ये vision चला गया. That usually is sudden onset. It will worry me that my patient has had an acute exacerbation. The new attack हुआ. And then most of the times I'll say, आइए, let's give you steroids and let's shut it down. The second way we follow disease activity is with MRIs. आजकल जो MRIs हैं, MRI brain and cervical spine, depending upon how active your disease is, आपके neurologist determine करेंगे कितने frequently वो MRI करा रहे हैं. Whether they are doing it every 6 months, every year, every 2 years. So उसमें क्या होता है, आप जब MRI कराते हैं, you are comparing the MRI with the previous MRI. So let's assume your last MRI was in 2022. अब आपने May 2025 में MRI brain and we only do brain and cervical spine. और उसमें good news, I come back and say good news as compared to the previous MRI, I see no new plaques, कोई extra plaque नहीं दिखाई दे रहे, वही पुराने जो plaque हैं, and कोई plaque enhance नहीं कर रहा, मतलब there's no active disease. It seems the disease is under control. I'll come back and say to you, I think you should just continue with this DMT. It seems the disease is controlled, Let's not change the management. Now, let's assume I get the MRI done and I find the new plaques आए हैं या plaque एक दो plaque हैं जो enhance कर रहे हैं. अच्छा, clinically you might say, Dr. Sethi, मुझे कोई नया attack नहीं हुआ है. But I know that subclinically आपकी disease अभी भी बढ़ रही है. And ये plaques जो बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, at some point in time, they are going to make you more disabled. So I might open the discussion with you कि भाई देखो, Tecfidera is not controlling your disease adequately. Maybe now it's the time to discuss a different DMT. Whether if we go to whatever, जैसे शाम दोपहर को you'll have a session which is the best DMT now on the market, ये सब चीज़ें हैं. So that's the way the disease is followed. My advice to you is very simple. If you feel something, say something. There's no harm in picking up the phone and calling your doctor and saying कि भाई मुझे लग रहा है मुझे नया attack ना हो, I'm a little worried, I want to come and see you, and let him or her determine कि भाई क्या है, is it something new, or is it a part and parcel of the old disease process and there's no acute exacerbation.
Shalini, I'll have to stop you there. We have a whole day. You can ask other questions as well to of the other doctors. As a matter of fact, I think we are running a little behind schedule, but we'll take just one last question. The gentleman at the back. Yes. अगर जो अभी तक सवाल पूछे गए हैं उससे बिल्कुल अलग है तो पूछिए.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Good morning, doctors. Good afternoon. I have a question. As a physiotherapist, I want to ask that Dr. Sethi pointed out कि neurons in the brain, they die progressively. So how efficiently the principle of neuroplasticity will function in therapy?
That's a little technical question. Maybe you can address it to the other neurologists, in a casual after this session, if you don't mind, because we wanted to have a patient-related question. Yes? Ji. Just keep it short because this is the absolute last question.
Yeah, everyone talked about like motor functionality and physiotherapy. Nobody spoke about cognitive dysfunctionality that comes along with
Dr. Hitesh spoke very much about...
No, you did. You spoke about but everyday things, but you don't speak about brain fog, forgetfulness, and cognitive.
Dr. Hitesh.
You skip words, you forget how to make sentences, you forget grammar.
So again, like if we take a specific function of this, okay, like now I come on to the speech as well. So there is a one direct speech and one related to cognition. Like you said, you forget the words and all. So that speech is related to cognition. So we have a cognitive therapy for that. So cognitive, like we follow, there is one scale you can read on Google, Cognitive Assessment of Minnesota. Okay, so it has a 17 Cognitive Assessment of Minnesota.
Can you spell that out?
Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota, like in the US. Okay, all right. It's Minnesota, like the city.
I spoke in an Indian accent, so.
Yeah. No. I thought that it was some part of the brain.
Yeah. So
I'm having cognitive issues.
So it has a 17 segments. So cognition is divided into 17 parts. Like it has short-term memory, it has long-term memory, it has judgment skills, it has money skills, it has mathematical skills, it has unseen passage like we do in the classes, like it has the emergency response skill. For example, घर में चोरी हो गई तो how you will respond. Okay, या आपके हाथ जल गया तो how you will respond. So all this comes under the cognition. So by running that assessment, first we will come to know what part of the cognition is more affected, and that we can take care as a therapy to train that person. For example, emergency situation. So if we find that there is a problem in that, so then we will think both adaptive ways, both using a technology and how we can train the person to respond on a specific situation. So that kind of training we can design on the individual cognitive function. Here I can add on, it also affects your swallowing also. Like you forget to swallow the pill, you keep it in the mouth only. Okay, so these are the symptoms. So that is why it is important to assess a person holistically maybe directly one function is not affected by a specific muscle, but it is indirectly related to your brain as well. So this way we can approach these patients.
Thank you. I think we'll have to close it here because it's lunch time now, and ये बातें तो कभी ख़त्म होने वाली नहीं है because everybody has a lot of questions. लेकिन जैसे मैंने कहा कि it's a long day, and along the way I'm sure a lot of the questions will get answered. So and of course these wonderful doctors are here. They'll be joining us for lunch, but don't crowd them, please. Just let them enjoy their meal before you bombard them with questions. Enjoy your meal as well. For those who are have some mobility issues, चलने फिरने में दिक्कत है या आप लोगों को कोई मुश्किल है प्लेट उठाने में, तो आपके लिए एक separate area with a table and chair भी लगाया हुआ है. Kindly allow those in wheelchairs and with the mobility problems and to use those first. And I would request everyone to now join us for lunch. Before that, thank you very much, Dr. Sethi, Dr. Vineet, Dr. Pandey and Dr. Hitesh. I just want to say ये एक शुरुआत है, ये प्रोग्राम यहाँ ख़त्म नहीं हो रहा है, ये प्रोग्राम अब शुरू होने जा रहा है इन लोगों के साथ भी. और जिस प्रकार के सवाल आज उठे हैं, it's very clear कि a lot of questions remain unanswered in your mind, and we will, with their permission, call them again and have much more thorough sessions with them in the future. अगर आपको इनमें से जो भी पसंद आया हो, कृपया हमें बताते जाएं ताकि हम आगे इन लोगों को दोबारा तकलीफ दें. Thank you very much, Dr. Sahab. And one by one, just gently please leave the room and join us for lunch. We will come back here at sharp 1:30. So you have 45 minutes, enough time for lunch. Okay, thank you. हाँ एक जी, can we stand up and we can just take a nice. जी मैं तो यही हूँ.